All right, this is your 34, but against the 14. Coach can't spell. So you'll see here we're set up in a, and this board's gotten dirty. We're set up in a 1-4 offensively, or they're set up in a 1-4 offensively. Again, we're going this way offensively. So this is our offensive basket right here. So you can see the 2 and the 4 on the right offensive side every time. 3 and 5 are on the left every time. So, they're running a 1-4, which this is why we want to run a 1-4 against a zone trap, because quite frankly, it's very effective. And if we don't know what we're doing, we're going to have problems. So we're going to have a simple rule here. If they run a 1-4, the 5 and the 4 have to pay attention on the back line. If their man is up, you have got to follow. So these men are up. You've got to follow. Follow. You got to. I don't necessarily. I want you to try to deny that pass if you can. Because if that ball gets caught right here, you're in a world of trouble. Because with the 1-4 format, we don't want these dudes catching the ball at all. So we want that pass denied. As a matter of fact, if we get a catch there, it's a bust immediately. So we got to get that caught. Now, if you could force him far enough down, I'll show you a little trick here. If it gets caught up here, we're going to be bust. Or if he runs the baseline and it gets caught over here, we're going to be bust. But if we can catch it down here, of course, if, let's say, this guy's here, and this 3 does his job, pushes it down here, it's the same thing. It's the 34. Ball comes in here, we trap with the curve there, we trap here, and the 4 or the 5 simply comes up here and cuts off that pass. So it's the same thing. And then again, even though his man's way over here, the 4 would be here. This guy's probably going to cut to the center anyway. That's what we do. Or this guy's going to cut to the center. So we got to watch that center. So let me clean that up for you, make it a lot more clear. So the ball came in to this guy from the elbow. It came in right there. This guy stepped in. The 1, the 3 trap. The 2 closes hard here. The 4 in the center of the floor. The 5 here. And again, what most of the time happens, this guy is the guy that cut down. This guy that was out here is here. The guy that passed it in is here. They'll have somebody try to step in. This guy might go home run. That guy's got it, and we allow the home run. It's the same thing. Where we run into trouble against the 1-4. Now I want you kids to pay attention to this. I know this is exhilarating for you. Where this gets in, it should be, because we force turnovers. We're going to have a heck of a time this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. When this ball comes in, again, I'll set up the 1-4. If this ball, let's say the 4 or the 5, I keep calling him the 4, it's the 5, it's the offensive left. Let's say he pushes the pass down here. Pass comes in here, right? So we've got the 1 here, the 3 here still, 2, 4 here in the center on the opposite side. He was here, right? Watching his man in case that pass came in here, but once the pass came in, he's moving over here. So the pass is here now. So the 5 really, he stayed with him and he pushed him down here. We could still run this. I'll show you how. So the 5 stayed with his man. He pushed him down to the corner. So he's here with the ball. The 5's here. The 1 was right here. He comes over and traps right here, again on the curve, right? And all the 3 has to do is be mindful, since the 5, took his spot, the 3 has to watch for this guy cutting. So often what will happen is the 3 and the 5 will just switch spots. We'll try to get that trap. Oftentimes the guy that was at the elbow will go this way. The 3 stays with him. They got a guy here. The guy that passed it in, the 2 crashed him on that pass. And the 4's in the center, watching for this guy coming. And then there's another home run guy back here. So, again, the 5 was here. He pushed his man down into the corner, which is great. His man was coming hard to the ball, so he followed him. He'll trap with the 1, and the 3 will take the 5's job. Usually the 3 traps down there, but it wasn't the area he was occupying. It was way out here against the 1-4. So I'm going to show that to you one more time on the opposite side. Let's say they run the baseline. They're here, 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 here. And we are, because they're in that format, we got the 4 here, the 2 here, the 3 here, 5 here, the 1 here. Again, he doesn't want to get blown up back here, but he does his job and he forces the ball down here. The pass comes in there, right there. The 4 is going to stay with him right there. The 1 is going to trap, as he always does on that first pass, on the curve there. The 3, as he always does, the inbounder stepped in, the 3 is going to come there. The 5, as the ball's in there, he's going to be at a dead sprint right here. And the 2, again, the idea is this guy's probably going to go this way, so the 2 is going to follow him and take the 4's place. So we got a guy here. 2 is going to try to deny that pass. And then 1, 2, 3, yeah. Oftentimes this guy will come in, the 5 has the middle, and there'll be a home run guy back here. This defense is very vulnerable to the home run. So ball gets thrown down here. As the ball's in the arcing air, we're on a dead sprint back. And obviously we're dead sprinting back into the base 31 defense. All right, so bust against the 1-4 is no different. One there, 4, 2, 3, 5. Again, ball comes in here, bust. Ball comes into the center, like this guy cuts backwards, bust. Once it's in, it's the same rules. Ball gets dribbled down the sideline, bust. Dribble down the center, bust. Right? Ball gets passed into the center, bust. Passed down the sideline. It's all the same. The only difference against the 1-4 is instead of the 4 and the 5 hanging back, they follow their men up otherwise. And of course, if they pressure up, the 2 drops. Or if they pressure up on this side, if the ball's over here, the 5 drops. Same principles apply. If the ball's opposite you and you're up front, you're crashing that inbounds pass. If it's opposite you in the back line, you got the middle. If it's on the same side in the back line, you have the sidelines. Same thing. That's your 34 against a 14.